180-day NASA plan.
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 What's 180?
180-day plan is an opportunity for our entire team to get some experience in project management.
Yeah.
Since coming over to Virgin, from Virgin to Optus, we've had a lot of opportunities to fix up our processes and how we communicate with our teams that we have to interact with across the board.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for my team to come across with some new ideas to fix everything up.
The projects.
Well, I chose to develop the training manual for NASA. Chose to do that because we don't have one. So when new people come in, the information that they're given is sort of dependent on who they're taught. So it's all a lot of word of mouth, or was, which meant that our processes weren't very consistent.
The Houston was a side project. I started off with looking at MPS processes and the way Virgin interact with MPS. And while this was happening, the whole team had a bazillion different processes to address different things for their 180-day plan. And they were all so great, but I couldn't keep track of what everyone was doing. And I got a bit lazy in being able to read every single email that was sent out going, hey, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this.
I worked on Project Houston. So Jenny started the project. She found that information between the team was really hard to share, and to collate them was a nightmare. So she created a website. She put all the content into a page where everyone in the team can access, and it's consistent data. What I did was I put the pretty into it. I made it, I guess, a little bit more presentable.
So the project was to improve the processes with wholesale and our communication with wholesale mobile. So we started with working on the communication and improving that.
The challenges.
Still kind of new, so 6 months in, still a noob. Everyone else has been in the job for over a year, so they know how in-depth all the processes are and how many different processes there are, how many different ways of doing things. So yeah, people were hesitant that it could be documented, but I proved them wrong.
The first challenge that I faced was, how was I going to build it? Like, just deciding on a layout for a website is very hard. Especially when people had a lot of different ideas.
So we had to find a way to mainstream the information and make it consistent. That was really, really hard to do. We had to process all our documents for it to go up. Somebody else, so Jess and Alicia, were working on that as well. A lot of the processes they were working on changed a lot throughout the time, and it was really frustrating because I'll put something up and not even a day I have to take it back down.
It's a mammoth task. There's heaps of different processes that all need to be documented.
The process stuff was a little more difficult because we had to say how much workload we were bringing into the department. Did we have the headcount to do that? How much workload were we removing from the wholesale team? Getting system access, and then developing training processes and developing relationships with Optus IT to make sure that they knew the requests were coming from us and to process them when we submitted them other than wholesale.
So I sent out a couple of emails to very little response, trying to get some more users who input their ideas. The more it's going to be used, and the better it will be received. So yeah, the communication there was a bit hard, trying to figure out what I should and shouldn't do.
That's why it hasn't been done yet. So everyone saw it as too daunting of a task.
A big part of the problem with a team like this is that when one person leaves, then we lose our knowledge.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that information available through Concierge and other Virgin tools, but we can't update those all that regularly. It requires a lot of effort, a lot of requests, and it can take months for that. So we decided we'd just jump on the front foot and do it ourselves.
The good bits.
People like Jenny came up with it early on, and then Jess comes along and says, here's our training documentation for the entire team.
The whole thing has been very enjoyable, and getting to roll it out as well has been awesome. So we have a newbie, so it looks like it's come across very well. She's picked it up pretty quickly.
Now, as soon as we get the NASA action, we can log into Proton, resolve the issue, get back to the customer and tell them it's fixed, rather than getting the issue, sending it to another team, giving them 48 hours to work on the issue, resolve it and send it back.
Finding out what the team actually needs and wants to know. I learned a lot of new processes as well. On top of that, I learned how to make a website. I did it all in a week, and it was actually really fun.
Essentially, we've just cut out the middleman.
I think the best example of what this project has done has been the amalgamation of everyone's efforts that have come together in a website called Houston. And I think Houston encapsulates everything. It has the training documentation we've come up with. It's come up with the templates that we've worked with on Wholesale. It's come up with our MPS outage notifications. It's come up with just communication processes. And it's really built on everything that the project was there for. The project was there to improve communication and knowledge, and that site encapsulates everything. So when the idea was put forward to me, I thought it would be a good idea, and I thought we'd be able to just list all of our current problems, but it's become so much more than that.
Yep.
And when I realised that about a week ago, I was pretty happy.
And it became a really good asset to the team, and people have built on it. It was just this small little Word HTML split page that I had made. It was very cruddy and basic, and then I left the team to go off into MPS, and I looked at it the other day, and it was amazing. It has really grown and really flourished, and I was so very proud.